Trevs Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, this is that Seattle video that I was telling you about, that I was working on. And this isn't really just a matter of me being predictable, because I'm not trying to make any predictions on this one. This is going to be season number 2 for your Seattle Kraken. And being the fan I am already, trust me, I was on the wagon before it was even built. I have 10 concerns, questions, overall thoughts on what I should expect and what maybe everybody else should expect for season number 2. So, having said that, here's what I got in mind. Now, starting off at number 10, and as optimistic as I'd like to be as far as this subject is concerned, playoffs is probably not an expectation this season. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, I'd love to be optimistic on this. I'd love to see the boys make it. But this is still a team with an expansion label. And you got to remember, this is not the same kind of expansion team that Vegas was. But again, it's not outside the realm of impossibility. They could find their way squeaking in, but I mean, let's be realistic. Not this year. Next year maybe, but not this year. With that, number 9, if playoffs aren't in the cards and not in expectation, does that mean Dave Haxtell's still going to be okay on the bench? I mean, yeah, we can look past season 1. We got 27 wins with him behind the bench. But knowing that Dan Bylsma is in Coachella, not that Bylsma's much of an improvement, but knowing that, is Haxtell still going to continue to push them to be a good team, or at least better? And if not, if the whole year is just status quo, how much does it set the team back? Because you want to see them get better, not worse. The goaltending, it has to be better, right? I mean, I know Dreger's out for a couple months. I know Martin Jones has come in to basically fill that void. That doesn't really excuse Philip Grubauer. And you got to remember, this guy had a Vezina-nominated season 2 seasons ago. Last season, he fell off the map. So how much of that is really him or just a bad defense in front of him? But I don't think the defense is overly bad. It's just a new team. Everybody's got to learn a new system, right? But either way, the point remains, the goaltending has to get better. 27 wins is nice. Let's see if we can at least hit 30. And let's hope that, there's a lot more consistency in between wins and shutouts, as opposed to seeing more losses. Who's going to be the next captain? Or is that even going to be a priority for season number 2? I mean, we had a captain up until the trade deadline when he requested being traded to Toronto. Look how well that's gone for him. So right off the hop, you have to think, well, who's the most natural successor or replacement? And automatically, the first 2 names that come to my mind are Yanni Gourde or Vince Dunn. Either one of those would be great captain material, but at the same time, I might be alone in this. I might not be, depending on everybody's school of thought. I'd be okay without a captain for the 22-23 season. Let's figure out who wants to be the captain instead of just appointing one. I made a mention to this one in my 10 bold predictions videos, which you can find the link up there. And this is totally going on the belief that Shane Wright is going to make the team. What's the Calder race going to look like between those two? Because technically, Beniers is going into a full rookie campaign. He only played 10 games, which was not enough to qualify for rookie status last season. Shane Wright, the guy who was supposed to go first overall, slipped to Seattle's hands at number 4. It's probably a foregone conclusion he's going to make the team, but let's not get presumptuous on this. Could these two make the Calder race interesting? Or could any of these two walk away with it? I'm not going to try and predict a major award right now, but don't be surprised if that's the case. Is Brandon Tanev going to stay healthy? I'm not going to lie, in the first 2 months before he got injured for the rest of the season, watching Tanev drive to the net and create the space, and just he was going to have a really good point season, whether we knew it or not. But injuries happen. He was gone for the rest of the season. So what version of Tanev is going to come back? Is he still going to be crashing the net recklessly at unorthodox speeds, or is he playing a little more carefully? Because I mean, if the injury is going to affect the way he plays, and hopefully it doesn't, it could be a long time if his play is faltered off because of that injury. But we'll see. What kind of help are the newest additions actually going to produce? Bringing in Schultz, Burakovsky, and Martin Jones on free agency helps a lot of needs. Picking up Oliver Bjorkstrand for basically nothing helps out a lot. Now, given the roster and the dynamic we already have, how well are these guys going to fit in, and how well are they going to contribute? I'm hoping for big things out of Bjorkstrand. I really am. I'm hoping for big things out of Burakovsky. Time will tell, as always, but the question still remains, what kind of impact are they going to have? Are they going to make a huge difference? And is it going to be beneficial to the team? One can hope. The goal differential. Now, last season, the Kraken had a goal differential of minus 69, which means we scored 216 and let in 285. And again, this is where number 8, or goaltending, has to come into play to keep that goal differential as close to zero as possible, because minus 51 is not the worst, at least not the worst that we saw last season, but it's not great. I mean, to be below minus 20 is bad. Minus 50, it's a little much. So hopefully that's a bit more improved. Now, of those 27 wins we got last season, 20 of those were first-time wins against all the other 31 teams in the league, which means we have 11 teams to beat for the first time. That includes, and is not limited to, Boston, Calgary, Columbus, the Rangers, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Tampa, Toronto, Vancouver, Vegas, and Winnipeg. So of those 11, which ones are we beating for the first time? Because I guarantee you there'll at least be a couple. Hopefully all 11, but you got to have goals, right? It'd be interesting to see if we can be all 11 of those guys, or at least a good handful of them. And last but definitely not least, who's going to lead the team in scoring this season? Now, last season was Jared McCann with 50 points. Yanni Gord was behind him with 48. Is it too much to ask for a 60-point guy? I mean, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it'll be Beniers, although that's not outside the realm of impossibility. But whoever it is, I'd love to see a 60-point guy. 50's nice, 60's better. That's just my thought. Either way, it'd be interesting to see somebody get beyond 50, have a new team record for most points in the season. Because, you gotta have goals. But anyway, those are my 10 thoughts for the Seattle Kraken's upcoming season. Let me know what you think. It's another one of Trev's hockey shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're at this point. It's a great thing for both of us. And to everybody who's jumped along, I want to thank you very much. It helps me out a lot. So let's keep the good times rolling. If you're here, hit that like button. If you want, that shiny red button that says subscribe all over it, you know what to do if you haven't done so already. Socials in the description down below. So going forward, I'm going to do one more for the upcoming season. One I haven't done for a couple seasons. So hopefully I can get this one back into an annual rotation. But either way, In the meantime, in between time, you look for more videos from Trev. Later.